Welcome back to another episode of the From Half Court Sports Talk Show with Darren and Rob. I'm Rob, that's Darren. Today we're going to be covering the Chicago Bears and see if they can get their shit together this year. Um, what do you want to say about Chicago before we
Okay,
before we get
so
into this?
I'm happy I got to do a little bit of research before this. So first off, my biggest problem with them. Can we go to their draft pick this past year? I don't know what they did with their first round pick.
They didn't have one.
Didn't have one. Wonder what they did with it. Wonder where that went. Um, Probably honestly, now I think about it, probably went to go get the quarterback last year. So this guy is a corner from Washington, which I have no problem with. I have if you're going to draft a DB, it's great to take them out of Washington. They usually prove to be pretty good. Um, I like them. Good pickup. Then they go with a safety in the next round. Am I right? Or
Yes.
the same round, first round,
So this is still the second round.
still the second round. Excuse me. And they go get a safety from Penn State. I've seen this guy. Good safety, really good safety. That's still not my problem. We can keep going. They waited to the third round to go get a receiver. Rob, you know this guy?
No, he played at Tennessee. I don't watch Tennessee football.
I didn't get to watch much of Tennessee either. But can we please read this real quick? Calais transferred from USC to Tennessee for the 2020 season and started 6 of 10 games played for the Volunteers. 22 of 22 wins, 208 losses. Is that right? Is that what I'm reading?
I played for
Three
the
touchdowns,
Volunteers.
3 touchdowns receiving. Okay, and he has some rushing yards.
I don't know what the fuck you were reading.
His receiving production is greatly increased in 2021. I'm not okay. So these are the catches that he had on how many targets he was given.
Okay.
So he went up pretty much from 3 touchdowns to 7 touchdowns. We're not going to get into the actual receiving numbers. That's a lot. You can read it right there if you want to.
Oh well.
And shared the SEC special teams player with Jamison Williams, return specialist. So he's essentially a special teams guy, right?
Right.
Who had a good second season or third season because of his production just upticked.
Okay.
But he was also given what this is being really light 500 more targets and has 40 more catches on 500 more targets.
So
So
basically, you
my
don't
whole
like
point in
him.
all of this is I don't know. So what now?
So what it sounds like you're getting at is this was a heavily stacked receiver draft, and you expected him to draft a receiver earlier.
If you're going to lose Allen Robinson to the Bears,
You said that wrong.
I'm sorry. If you're going to lose Allen Robinson to the Rams, does it not make sense to go get a super talented receiver? Even if that's the case, Tyreek Hill's on the market. He probably wasn't going to go to you. Devontae Adams wanted to be on the market. He probably wasn't going to go to you. Mike Williams was even out there from the Chargers. Possibly could have got offered. Juju was out there. They could have went so many places and got a receiver, and they didn't help their young quarterback at all. That's my
As
biggest
far
problem.
as Juju goes, they probably would have had to overpay Juju to come there.
They went out?
They probably would have had to overpay Juju to go there,
No.
and he's coming off a injury too.
Look, man, you pay them more than the Chiefs are. You give them 1 more, 2 more years. Then you leave it at that. You leave it at that. You don't gotta overdo it.
I don't see Juju going to that situation though.
Christian Kirk could have went here. There's so many. My problem is that this franchise. You can keep scrolling down so we can see the rest of their picks. They didn't do justice for their young quarterback, and that's my biggest problem with this team. This guy is supposed to make magic with nothing, And on top of it, the new head coach doesn't have much to work with besides a defense.
Um, what do you think this new head coach is going to do differently than Matt Nagy did? Like, I hopefully he uses we're hopeful that he uses Justin Fields better, more out of the pocket stuff, more things with his legs to help him make plays. But my worst fear is Justin Fields is going to be the same position Jalen Hurts is in.
Wait, hold on. No, I don't know. Hold up now. Time out. Time out. I don't see that happening. I can tell you why I don't see that happening.
Why?
Philly made the playoffs. The Bears ain't making the
Oh,
playoffs.
let me rephrase. The same type of quarterback he is, because
Brian Burns?
I feel like they're very similar, but Justin Fields has a little better arm talent than Jalen Hurts. But I feel like the situation he's going to be in, he's going to have to use his legs a lot.
Yes.
Where Jalen Hurts wants to use his legs.
There you go. There's your difference. And there's your difference. Not only that, they don't have. This is why. Here's my biggest problem because we just got done doing a Lions video a while ago. When you look at the Lions, they have weapons and they have an offensive line that has potential. They're not building much with this team. That's the problem. They're not even building something around them.
They had a ton of fifth round picks though, Darren. Look at all this talent they're bringing in. Yes, they're late round picks, but they can turn out to be something possibly.
Hopefully, hopefully both of those linemen are something because they're going to need it. Now, if we go back to the roster, we can actually get into the nitty gritty of what I'm actually talking about. Because if you're not going to do it in the draft, then at least do it in free agency. No, they got Byron Pringle, which I actually like Byron Pringle. I like what he did for them. The thing that they did more than anything is actually targeted people who played for their division right at receiver. Byron or in I can't say St. Brown's full first name, but he played for the Packers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Byron Pringle played for the Chiefs. I actually got that wrong, so that's my fault. That's my fault. Excuse me. Um, um, but yeah, he's a dog, but he can actually give them a heads up on what the Chiefs are doing offensively to maybe change things up. Roger Sharp played for the Falcons. All NFC opponents, or sheesh, I keep on getting the Chiefs wrong. Excuse me. But yeah, you see what I'm saying?
How you feel about their
They're a heavy
defense?
run. They're just a heavy run team. They're going to be have to be a heavy run team, and I just don't like that for Justin Fields and making him have to do things with his feet all the time. You're just asking him to do a lot with nothing.
That's just going to be his growing pains as being a young quarterback, though, man.
That's
It's
not
just
right.
it. There's just
Put
it's
it like this. Nah, because Detroit did that with Matthew Stafford pretty much. That's
they
not right.
eventually got Matt Stafford, Calvin Johnson though.
Calvin Johnson left. He retired.
But they played at least like 7, 6 years together, right?
I don't know how many seasons they played,
They played a
but I know
decent
he
amount of
retired.
seasons together.
They let their his go though. Allen Robinson was supposed to be that, even though
Megatron.
he didn't have a great season in the first year. But we can blame that more on the head coach going with Andy Dalton over Justin Fields.
In hindsight, the way he used Justin Fields, I think he should have just sat Justin Fields the whole season. Like if because I remember if I remember correctly, the only reason he played was because Andy Dalton got hurt. I
Yeah.
think it would have been better if Justin just didn't play last year. They fired homeboy, and they just moved on to a new coach.
Yeah. And I really can't tell you too much about the new head coach. I tried to look up his coaching tree, but he sounds like he's more of a defensive guy than anything.
I
But I
will say
could be
this
wrong.
though. I will say this though. It probably is good for Justin Fields that he does have actual film of him playing last year. That might help his growth as a quarterback long term.
I just don't see it, man. I just don't. I
I
don't
think
know.
Justin Fields is just going to be in a bad situation for the next 3 to 4 years.
I think he's gonna get the bag and then manage trade.
Um, no, no. I think he's going to try to play it out.
It just sucks. I hate to see this because he was like debatably the second best quarterback in that draft with Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. You can say what you want, but he easily to me went to the worst situation, or at least a situation that didn't try to get better. Doug Peterson with Jacksonville, they actually tried to get Christian Kirk, which is still a weapon. They got somebody else I can't remember,
Yep,
but they
ETN
at
coming
least
back.
trying to. I'm sorry, what was that?
They have ETN coming back.
Yeah, they're trying to build at least something around Trevor to build to work with. They got Evan Ingram from the Giants, for example. They're trying to build something around him. Zach Wilson, they got Garrett Wilson. They got um, the guy from Tennessee last year. I cannot remember his name for the life of me right now. Um, I don't know. I just think they're not helping him. That's just how. That
How
being
do you
said,
feel
their
about their
defense is
defense
pretty
going
good.
into this year?
Pretty good. They're always good until somebody gets hurt.
Yep, I don't have anything else to say besides that.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead
it's
and
hard
start
to.
looking at their schedule.
Yep.
All right, let's take a look at this schedule. So they're going to start off the year versus
With
the
an
49ers.
L. They're going to start off the season with an L.
Then they go to Green Bay
On Monday night or I'm sorry,
Sunday.
no Sunday night. Yeah, they're gonna lose.
I agree.
Good game, but they're gonna lose.
Then they face Houston.
Yeah, they're gonna lose to Houston too.
I have them beating Houston.
I don't see what you see on that one.
Uh, at New York Giants.
You're not gonna explain what you see with the Houston thing
I think they control they control the ball.
with running.
Yes.
All right. When the ball goes in the air, Derek Stingley coming down with it. That's all I'm saying.
No, he probably will have a pick six that game. At Giants.
That's why I'm winning the game, right? They're gonna beat the Giants. I'm gonna say they're gonna beat the Giants.
I have the Giants winning. At Minnesota.
They're gonna lose to Minnesota
I agree. Versus Washington.
on Thursday night. We're gonna learn what the fuck Carson Wentz is made of. I got Washington winning.
I have Washington winning by blowout. At New England.
New England wins it. It's no question.
I agree. At Dallas.
Dallas wins it.
I agree. Versus Miami.
Miami wins it.
Versus Detroit.
And they lose to Detroit.
I agree. At Atlanta.
They'll beat Atlanta somehow.
I'll take Atlanta. Um, at New York Jets.
Oh, they're losing to the Jets. It's not.
I agree. Versus Green Bay.
They're losing to Green Bay.
I agree. Versus Philly.
Um, After the bye week. Um, yeah, Philly wins this.
I agree. Versus Buffalo.
They're gonna lose the rest of their games.
Yeah, I only have them winning like 1 or 2 games at most this
Yeah, I
season.
think that's where I'm at too.
I think
That-
they're probably going to be the worst team in their division. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think they're going to be the worst team in the division. You just got to bet on David Montgomery staying healthy the whole year, and Justin Fields not getting sacked all year.
Yeah, pretty much. And whatever this new head coach can do, God bless him. But he's just inheriting a mess. To be real with you, and y'all didn't help him in free agency or in the draft. At least y'all didn't, or he didn't help himself. Or maybe y'all shouldn't have got hired this guy. I don't know what you want me to tell you. We're looking at their salaries real quick.
Yes. Let's wrap up looking at the. You want me to? You want to pull up their salaries?
So they're not paying for a quarterback, clearly. That's wild.
You want me to do it by position?
No, I just want to keep it at who's getting the most at least, if that's possible.
Um,
So Robert Quinn's making the most money.
yes.
All right. So their top three guys who's making the most money is all defense.
Pass rush, really good safety, inside linebacker.
The top five is all defense. Is all defensive guys except the center. They're not paying nobody, bro. This is kind of quite disgusting. Just go get a receiver. Just pay Allen Robinson. None of that made sense to me. I know you didn't have a good season, but you also are getting a new head coach. And then on top of it, get a head coach that isn't ultimately a defensive guy. Like this is not. Uh, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry, it just doesn't make sense to me. Not at all.
They don't gotta pay Justin Fields for another 4 years, so they should be good.
They're not paying nobody on top of it. Just go get a receiver. Amari Cooper was on the trade block. Why didn't you try to go get him?
Honestly, they probably don't have the draft capital to do that, unless you're going like next year. Because we already said that we think they traded that first round pick to get Justin Fields the year before. They'll move up and get him the year before.
I feel you, bro, but you gotta do something. If that's not the case, then there was free agent receivers this past year.
You think they should have overpaid Christian Kirk?
If Jacksonville was going to do it, might as well. They had to do. They needed to do something. It's a young quarterback, and everybody else is getting their young quarterback sub.
So how should I say this? If Allen Robinson didn't play well with this young quarterback last year, what would be the difference this year
A
with
new head
another
coach,
receiver?
new offensive scheme.
You think what was his name? Magny?
And Nagy,
Matt Nagy? You think he gets a head coaching job in the near future? Or was it that like rough of a year that he just got shitted on in the
I
media
just
too
think
hard?
the NFL is starting to move on, and they're not recycling court. They're not recycling head coaches unless they're proving it as a coordinator somewhere for multiple years. Like for example, the Raiders with Josh McDaniels.
Gotcha. All right, you got anything else to say about the Bears before we wrap this up?
Damn shame. That's all I gotta say.
Do you think the Bears are the bottom of the NFL, rock bottom of the NFL right now?
No, there's other teams that make me question certain things that have like star receivers but no offensive line, no defense. So it's like kind of hard to see their where they're going in general. So I can't really say that.
Gotcha. All right. Let us know what you guys think of the Bears going in this year. What records you think they're going to end up with? How should they improve this team to help Justin Fields in the years to come? Let us know all that down in the comment section down below. Make sure you also like and subscribe for more off-season coverage of the NFL. Thank you guys for watching again. We'll see you next time when we cover the Minnesota Vikings. Peace out.